Hello, a warm welcome to Conny decorating, of course, with heart today. And who else is here with a lot of heart? Exactly. And today, our topic is window decoration. And it's really just with herbs and baking paper, which most people probably have at home. Or maybe they even have architect's paper. And then you can get started today and make this window decoration too. But if you want to know how this works, and it really is super simple, just stay tuned, because we will show you now. And these are the things we need today for our window decoration, and then we'll start right here at the front. Here I have some baking paper, which you can also use fantastically, is this architect paper. And then let's take a look here. Then I have a bit of jute ribbon. I have felt. I have white ribbon or felt fabric, and I have some extra materials like ribbons and felt fabric. I've just freshly cut thyme, sage and rosemary, which smell wonderful and are perfect for our project. I brought these 2 wooden logs from Elke's farm, a place known for its quality wood. We used them for the Advent decoration, and we made quite a few this year, so these were the leftovers. I mixed in some fairy lights that I had. I have a string of lights and a bundle of fairy lights, which add a magical touch to the decoration. I also have a hot glue gun, scissors, a utility knife to see which works better, a stapler, wire cutters, a pencil, and those are the things we actually need now, and they are all essential for our crafting process. I would say let's get started with this exciting project. I will spread out the baking paper a bit and want to cut it to 40 centimeter, which is the perfect size for our needs. Let's just eyeball it, as precision is not crucial here. I will mark it here and do the same on the other side, ensuring everything is aligned. I've marked it on both sides, and now I will take my scissors and cut it down, making sure to follow the lines closely. I need to use a different pair of scissors. The other ones were very dull, and these are wonderful, making the cutting process much easier. Now we have about 40 centimeters. It's not perfectly straight, but we only need the width approximately, so it's fine. You can, of course, eyeball it as well, which is a handy skill to have. Now I will fold the paper and crease it nicely, pulling it out long to ensure it's ready for the next step. Now I will mark the middle at the top. We have 10 centimeters. And I will use the ruler from the middle down to the bottom, and I will do the same on the other side, ensuring symmetry. Now we practically have our triangle, which is the base shape for our project. I wasn't entirely correct here, but I can easily correct that by cutting it off at the bottom, which is a simple fix. I want to glue something on the bottom later anyway, so that's not a problem at all, and it will add to the overall design. Now you can either use scissors or, like I am, a utility knife, which is a versatile tool. You have to be careful at the tip not to press too hard because it's very delicate and we don't want to ruin the paper. I will now cut along my line with the utility knife, and now I will place my ruler again and cut all the way down on one side, ensuring a clean cut. I used the utility knife there, but I had to correct it a bit with the scissors. And now I will try it with the scissors, and I think that works just fine, providing a smooth finish. I find it wonderful. It worked out great, and I'm pleased with the result. So both methods, either with the utility knife or the scissors, work well, and it's good to have options. Baking paper is always very slippery because it has a coating, which can be tricky to work with. If you have a sewing machine, you can sew a seam as you like, which is absolutely beautiful and adds a professional touch. I don't have one, but I have a small stapler here, and I will carefully check that everything is aligned and staple my hat together, ensuring it's secure. I am now going along the entire hat at small intervals, but completely stapled, carefully and meticulously. I got a bit tangled here, but that's not a problem at all, without any rush. I'm just going to apply the hot glue to this stapler, And now I'm taking my jute tape or whatever tape you have and placing it carefully on top, ensuring precision, making sure not to burn myself. I will do this all the way down, step by step. Now we have fixed the tape. You could also use a wider tape or less hot glue, which I will do next with utmost care. I had to feel my way a bit, but you won't see that later, and attention to detail. I would like to cut a bit from this felt border and glue it on the bottom like a little Santa hat as I proceed. I will also felt the ends a bit more, pulling them up a little to make sure everything is perfect. You can also use cotton, which is a great option and fits snugly. I will apply hot glue to the bottom to make it nice and secure, and I will glue it on here, pulling a bit to make sure it fits in length in its place as intended, with the desired outcome achieved successfully. That works quite well with it. So, does it work, Micha? Well, the first time you try it, it's really the case that hot glue, without tacking it down, just won't hold because of the coating. It simply doesn't stick. But now, with tacking, you could also use a wider tape or even a felt tape again. I will use a little less hot glue, then it will also look a bit neater. I think it's really good, and I think this hat looks super natural, and it will also be filled with naturalness. I have this thick wire here. I will take 2 pieces and just twist them together. If you don't have the thick wire, you can of course use a annealed binding wire or another thicker wire. But this is optimal because it is really nice and sturdy. And I will place it here now, and I will take my herbs here. First, the thyme, as well as the rosemary and also the sage. And I will just check the length. I want it to stick out, so I'll set this aside. I want a hook to be made at the top, and I think that will fit quite well. I want this part to stick out, and now I take the hat away again. I take my binding wire, my wrapping wire, and go around a few times. I will now take my battery compartment and set it to timer. Usually it's in the middle. I will also fix this to the wire. The other band from the battery compartment, the cable, I'll tuck behind and fix it like this. I've cut off the thick branches at the top, and I'll lay that on the battery compartment. I'll wrap it around with my wrapping wire to secure it at the top. I'll cut off the excess at the top shortly. I will take the wire and pull the string lights up, and I'll take the rosemary and wrap it around. I can also wrap the small branches of sage in here. Now we have the string lights wrapped around quite heavily. I will now sew my little hat and carefully push the wire up, gently threading everything through and making a small hole at the top, pushing the wire through and pulling it up. Maybe you can already see it. Look, it's going wonderfully. And look how beautiful it is. That means you can now pull the herbs up and they hold well. And I don't think it's a problem if it looks a bit rough. And now I will pull this a little more. I will bend the wire here at the top. And I cut off the rest of the wire down here, and then we can wonderfully hang it on our branch in the window. Let's do that quickly, because this is the branch I once painted gold, and I just twisted some birch twigs around it. I think it fits every season. Up here I have this natural ribbon, and I find that color tone matches well, so we don't need to change much. I will now hang the hat in beautifully, and the timer is on. I will now carefully cut the wire that is still visible down here with the side cutter, being careful not to cut the string lights It still looks wonderful. I really like it. The second one went really quickly too, and you don't have to work too precisely. You can adjust it nicely once it's fixed. This is now the second one. Micha, maybe you can show this. I even raised the hat a bit, and I think it's nice if it looks a bit crooked because that makes it a bit more charming and natural. Here I have a 60s staged light string, and more is peeking out now. You can store that really well, and if the batteries should run out, you can easily push the wire back and pull it down to replace it. So this is really a super nice thing. The two are now finished in the window, and I will now make two more for down here. I have also finished two hats, and now I take this tree stump and apply some hot glue to it. I take a skewer, place it on top, and wait a moment for it to dry. I will make two pieces that dry super quickly. And now I take my time because I also want to, you can do this too, just have the hat on top here. But I actually find the herbs quite nice, and I still have some. Now I just take the wrapping wire, go around here very carefully, take a bit of sage and a little rosemary. I also secure that. I go around twice, then cut the wire. And then we have already fixed the herbs here. And I would also like to add a string of lights. I have two bundles. And then I have a string. And I will just place it behind the ribbon like this. The wires hold it quite well, so I just twist it a little bit here. I make a small bundle, and then I carefully take my hat and pull it over all these things. You could also fix the string of lights with a wire, but this works wonderfully as well. Gently pull the hat over so that the stick goes through the top again, or it doesn't even have to go through. I just pull it over like this. Looks perfect. You can't see the battery compartment. I think it's really great how the herbs peek out a bit down here, and it blends wonderfully with the upper decoration. Here, to get the tip a little better, I can just do this. Look, you can press it a bit like this. It's actually not so bad. And then you can't see the stick behind it at all anymore. I don't find that a bit problematic, but you can just try it out. This is really a lot of fun. We have finished two hats here on the log, and I really like it. I have to honestly say, just give it a try. Cutting the triangles went quickly at the beginning. You just have to get a feel for it. I must say, it's super simple, totally effective, and absolutely natural. We really enjoyed it, and it doesn't cost much money. I would say we hang the two up, and now we will decorate the other one on the windowsill. And that was it. Our topic today, window decoration. You requested this, and we certainly hope that you like this topic here. Just a bit of baking paper or architect paper, a little bit of herbs, or whatever you have, other branches, dogwood. You can use anything you have. You can stick in anything you have. And we really like that. And, of course, we also hope that we could inspire you today with this window decoration. What we did was place this decorative element, which, this root simply in the middle. We have the thread here anyway. And I still have my great branch back in the corner. And I think it harmonizes. It's pure nature. And as mentioned, we would be very happy to receive a thumbs up, a comment, dear friends. And check down in the video description, where you will also find great string lights and super decorative items at Hof Ulkers. There's still a 10% discount available, so feel free to browse. So we have been using them all year round, and yes, it is always nice and easy to crochet. I am looking forward to decorating again in the coming days with and for you all, and who else? Exactly, with all my heart. Feel hugged until then. Goodbye.